Johnny, what's going to happen with this illegal immigration problem? Yeah, well, it seems to be a bloody increasing problem, Johnny. But over in England, they seem to have come up with a very novel solution for people who come in illegally on a boat. Yeah, people coming into other countries. I mean, yeah, they get sent to Rwanda. Rwanda? Are you bloody serious?
In a highly controversial change to UK immigration policy, the government plans to send anyone deemed to be entering the country illegally to Rwanda in East Africa.
Being smuggled from France to Britain by boat could earn you a one-way ticket to Rwanda.
Yeah, Rwanda. Yeah, it's one of those shitbox countries that somehow or another has been picked to take the bloody refugees from England, and there's a few people not too happy about it, and I don't bloody blame them.
Many, though, have profound concerns about the practicality, the cost, and the humanity of this deal. The British government sending often traumatised asylum seekers halfway around the world to rebuild their lives in a country they've never been to.
This is a despicable policy, quite frankly, one that we know how awful it is in all of its guises.
Oh, Jesus, Johnny, I don't know whether that's bloody,
We, as two ministers, stand here today absolutely committed to changing some of the norms around the broken global migration system, because for too long, other countries, and by the way, naysayers, just sit on their hands and have been watching people die.
Yeah, people have this dream, Johnny, of coming to a Western country, starting again, building a future for themselves.
More than 28,500 people crossed in small boats last year.
How many thousands?
More than 28,500 people crossed in small boats last year. That's almost a tenfold increase on 4 years ago.
End up getting sent to Rwanda. I mean, Rwanda, Johnny, had this bloody genocide over there about 20 years ago when they killed half the fucking population of the country.
Rwanda is still a country recovering from genocide. 500,000 people killed in the mid-90s. Criticised by the UK for its human rights record last year, this may seem an odd choice of partner to entrust with protecting the human rights of traumatised and vulnerable asylum seekers.
I mean, who wants to go there, for Christ's sake? But having said that, Johnny, all is not lost in Rwanda. They're apparently building a pretty decent bloody country.
Africa is often viewed quite poorly on the world stage. The continent holds plenty of violent, corrupt, and unstable nations and the majority of the world's least developed countries. But Africa is big. There are 54 countries there, and not all fall into the generalizations of the continent as a whole. Perhaps most notably, Rwanda. To achieve this, Rwanda has made plenty of economic and legislative reforms to foster the business-friendly environment. They've also been focusing on building both soft and hard infrastructure. The government, in collaboration with private investors, built an enormous $300 million convention center along with a 5-star Radisson Blu hotel to attract the convention market, in addition to less flashy infrastructure projects building roads and airports.
Still, you couldn't pay me to go and live in fucking Rwanda.
Begin today with breaking news from the border. Right now, nearly 10,000 migrants are starting the journey from southern Mexico to reach the United States. And News Nation border correspondent Robert Sherman joining us live. Robert, this could really be the largest migrant caravan so far this year.
Well, it's potentially shaping up to be that way, Nicole.
The US has had an open border with Mexico, it seems, for bloody years now.
But to have a nation, you have to have ideas of who's excluded from it, who are the enemies and opponents of that nation. And I feel that the people that suffer most from entrenched power and the symbols of power...
Johnny, are you saying that a country that doesn't control who comes and goes in its country, who becomes a citizen and all that bloody stuff, they may as well not be a country at all? Is that what you're saying?
More than you ever have. Questioning where power comes from, questioning how power is rendered, not just blindly thinking, oh,
10,000 migrants are starting the journey from southern Mexico to reach the United States.
How many thousands?
About 11,000 migrants gathering near the Mexico-Guatemala border, preparing to begin a treacherous journey to our southern border on Monday. With us now...
Oh, Christ almighty.
And it encourages a kind of blankness of mind and a lack of willingness to inquire about the nature of your reality. So
yeah, they're going to try and break through the shitty little barriers that do exist. It's just a river, it seems. Yeah, swim across that bloody river and you're home and hosed in the US, apparently.
How do you assess those staggering numbers?
Well, you're exactly right. They are staggering numbers, and it shows you that this administration continues to emphasize and really encourage the crisis that we see on that border. And these number of individuals that are crossing the border illegally, thousands and hundreds of thousands at this point.
And the Trumpster, he wanted to build a bloody wall. Oh, that wall, bloody, it never really got built. You mean to say, Johnny, that there's thousands of people on the march towards the Mexican border that they reckon they're just going to be able to get into the US? Is that what you're saying? Now, there's a couple of thousand people on their way marching from the poorer countries of South America to try and get into the US to make a home for themselves there. Jesus, I should go to bloody Mexico, Johnny. I could just walk in the bloody border by the looks of it. I'd have to get in some sort of a disguise though, probably. But what we've got to do, Johnny, is try and fix up these shitbox countries and not leave them like that for eternity. They've got to bloody have a chance to get into the world economy, the first world economy, like bloody buying flat screen TVs and having a second car and sending their kids to good schools and that. Are they never going to have that or what? I think that's more to the point, Johnny, why they bloody want to leave the country in the first place. I mean, there's no one in Australia here, God bless Australia. There's no one over in Australia here wanting to bloody go and live in Rwanda, for Christ's sake. But Johnny, will that solve anything, man? Will it achieve anything? I want a better life than this shithole Sydney. I want to go to bloody Ethiopia and forge a new life for myself. You don't hear that being said much around here.